What's up, everybody? Buddha back here again, and welcome to the first episode of Late to the Game. Now, to give you a little bit of background on this, let's start from the very beginning. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to a board game night with some friends at a friend of mine's shop who makes jewelry. She generally has board game nights over there. Once every month or 6 weeks. I got there a little late, obviously, and they were playing. There was a couple of friends of mine playing this game, and I sat there and watched around. And then one guy got put out, and then he was supposed to come back for the next round, but he didn't. So I ended up playing his character. The game was really fun, and I decided I just had to have it. And I spent the last couple of weeks trying to find a copy of it. Couldn't find one locally. Ended up actually finding a copy on cardhouse.com for $10 less than retail price. And then with shipping and everything, I ended up getting it for like $28, and the retail price of the game is $30. So, flash forward a little bit to a Facebook post that I had posted saying, I don't remember exactly how I worded it, but that awesome moment when you get a game with shipping for less than the retail price of the game. Now only if I could find the promo cards to go with it. Well, I didn't mention the name of the game, and then my buddy Wayne had said, "Is this going to be your next video?" And that's what kind of got the ball rolling on this video here. And what I hope to be is this series of videos called Late to the Game. The reason why I'm calling it Late to the Game is because this game that I had played at my friend's shop was several years old. I'd never heard of it before. I think it was printed in 2012, if I remember correctly. And that game was called Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Duel at Mount Skullzfyre. So I bought the game. I got it in the mail yesterday, and I'm going to do a quote-unquote unboxing / review / how to play the game kind of video here. The kind of rules of Late to the Game will be that it will be a game that I either have not ever heard of before or have not actually played before and ended up having like really fun with it, and it's been out for a while. I know it's kind of arbitrary and general on the rules, but that's what most of these games are going to be that I review on Late to the Game. So if you have an idea for a game that I may not know about that's really cool, post a link, something in the comments below, and maybe I'll review it and get it and what have you. So we do have for this episode Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Duel at Mount Skullzfyre. It's a really long name, but it's kind of fun. It rolls off. It's got a kind of really kind of cool. I want to say it was somebody does the art for this that has a TV show on like Adult Swim, Cartoon Network type stuff. Somebody said it's close to the art for Adventure Time, a regular show. Don't know. Don't really watch those shows. But I want to say it's close to Super Jail too. I don't know if the same guy does all 3 shows in this game, but that's what the art reminds me of. It reminds me of some show that I used to watch on Adult Swim. So let's get this open. I've already actually opened it a little bit. I got the plastic off and looked at a few things. We have the rule sheet, and as kind of a just kind of motif kind of thing, they actually do include a standee of Mount Skullzfyre. So as you can see, it's kind of a volcano, and there's a couple of guys fighting at the bottom. Mountain there. It's the same thing on the front and back. I have the stand, but it's in a little plastic bag, so I'm not going to really dig that out. The plastic bag actually is right here. It has little life tokens, and the whole point of the game is to be the last wizard standing in any one round. And any one round can last several turns. You have the choice. It's a 6-player game. It's based on a 6-player game anyway, but you have a choice of 8 wizards. We have Zanzibart, the Slag Genie. He's kind of badass looking. We have Pister, the Pissed Wizard. He's got, looks like a backpack full of beer. We have Hogs in the House. Big guy. No, what is this? He's got a wizard in his cane there, as you can see, his staff. We have Jung Jung, the Spirit Master. And we have Faye Ticklebottom. Let me get that back in frame there. The Enchanter. We have Lady Laserveer of the Space Kingdom. We have Holiday Princess Holiday and her Furycorn. Princess Holiday and her Furycorn. As you can see, the unicorn there is very angry looking. And we have my personal favorite, which is the one I actually played the first time, and he is Krastar, the Bloodomancer. I don't know why I said that. Admittedly, I watched Tabletops play a 3 of this, and Will Wheaton played the same character. Now, mind you, that was after the time I played it, because I didn't know anything about the game. But he kind of spoke like that, Krastar, the Bloodomancer type thing. The game comes with 4 dice, which actually you really do need probably 10, maybe 8. You don't need the dice all the time, but sometimes people get powers and they have to hold on to a die, and 4 is just really not enough to play that. I'd probably put at least another 4. I may put a total of like 12. You can buy a brick and just stick it in the box. You know what I mean? Okay, and then we have the cards. Now, I haven't unpackaged the cards at all yet, but we have actual spell deck cards, and we have dead wizard cards, which are actually hidden somewhere here, and we have treasure cards, as you can see the back there. Let me go ahead. Where did my knife go? I have lost blade. I'll just use this. And basically, the gameplay goes as such. Everybody chooses a wizard of the 8 cards that I showed you. They have no special powers or anything like that. They all start at the same life total, etc., etc. So, there's no special powers between the wizards, which is something that may come out after the expansion, because there already is talk of an expansion. I think already is talk of an expansion. There is talk of an expansion because I guess the game from 2012 did so well. Like I said, the first time I'm hearing about it was just a couple weeks ago, and like I said, I had so much fun I just had to have a copy. So the decks are split between spell cards, which are those backs, and these are all spell cards, looks like. Yes, so those are all spell cards. And we have the treasure cards, which are 25 treasure cards, and then there are dead wizard cards, and those are those. Spell cards are split up into 3 different styles. There is a source. Let's see if I can find a source. Okay, that's a quality. That's a bottom part, and let's see if this is a source. Okay, so those are you're given in the beginning of the game. You're given a hand of 8 cards, 8 spell cards. You earn treasure cards, and you technically earn dead wizard cards. And the spell cards are broken up as such. This is a source card, which is the beginning of the spell, and it says source right down here. And then we have a quality card, which is the middle card, and it says, I believe it says quality. Yeah, it says quality right down there, and you can see the Q right there. And then we have a delivery card, which is the end of the card. And you see D actually right down here. So out of the 8 cards you're given to start off your hand, you build a 3-card spell. If you have a 1-card spell, if you only have, for some reason, and it has happened in the game that I played, you have just all qualities, or all sources, or all deliveries, you can play a 1-card spell, and that card will go off first in the initiative. 2-card spells goes off second in the initiative, and 3-card spells are based on the initiative number on the delivery card. But you build a spell, and then once everybody builds a spell, they figure out who goes first via an initiative I just kind of described. Sorry. And whoever goes first, whoever goes second, blah, 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 blah. And let's take a look at the spell that we were just creating. We have Beardo Blasty's Devilicious Death Wish. And so let me try if I can spin these around. So we have Beardo Blasty's Devilicious Death Wish. And you can see these two cards have the same, well, you can't see it actually. If you get close to that card, you can see the little icon. It says they're arcane, a little purple icon down in the left-hand side of the screen. That is a glyph. There are several types of glyphs. But these two cards, you can tell, they both share a glyph, which means those powers right there will use 2 dice. There are certain cards that give you powers based on different glyphs and stuff like that. These just happen to be the same glyph, which means they're drawn from the same power source, which means they complement each other, which makes them both more powerful. So you start off your spell, and you go like Beardo Blasty's power on this card is this card copies the text of the delivery spell, so which means basically you get to do the delivery spell twice in your spell. So the Devilicious is a roll power, which is what you'll use to roll dice. And the target is your foe of choice, and it deals a certain amount of damage. But if you deal over 5 points, 5 points or over damage, it starts damaging you as well. But because we have 2 spells with the dark glyph, I'll actually roll 2 dice for that 1 power. If I did not have another dark power, I would only roll 1 dice. And the damage on this, like for instance, is if I roll a 1 to 4, I'll do 2 damage to that target. If I roll 5 to 9, I'll do 4 damage to that target, and I take a damage. If I roll 10 or above, I do 5 damage to that target, and I take 2 damage. Now, that's the middle card. Now, actually, what we would do, just for reference, so you know, since I have and I dropped it. Great. Hang on 1 second. Here we go. There are no blooper reels because we just keep going. So we do this card lets us do this card twice. So we do this card, back to this card, and then that card because of this card. So the first spell, which would be Death Wish, which would be the foe to your right, and it's a roll power, and on a 1 to 4 it does 2 damage and I take 1 damage. On a 5 to 9 it does 3 damage and I take 1 damage, and on a 10 plus it does 5 damage and I take 1 damage to the foe to my right. So in this particular spell, I would damage the foe to my right, damage the foe of my choice, and then re-damage the foe to my right because of the way I built the spell. And that's basically how it goes. Everybody has 20 hit points. You can go above 20 hit points. Let's see, what else? And it's an elimination game. So each round you eliminate until there's 1 wizard standing. And when there's 1 wizard standing, you get a last wizard standing token. And technically the way the rules are written, the first person to get 2 last wizard standing tokens wins the game. Now here's what happens when you die. Let's say I put out, with that particular spell, I was able to do enough damage to put out the foe to my right. But after everybody gets a go, anybody who died, as soon as they die, they get a dead wizard card. At the end of the round, whoever died in that round or previously gets another dead wizard card. So if someone died in that round, they get 2 dead wizard cards by the end of the round. At the end of the round, you will draw back up to 8 cards, and you will build another spell out of the new cards, depending on what you have, and do another round. So, at the beginning of your turn, you draw up cards to 8, you build a spell, figure out initiative, spells go off on that initiative order, and then you resolve if anybody dies, and everybody gets a turn if they're not dead. So that's basically how it runs. It was a really fun game. I was surprised at how much fun I had with it. I really wanted to play again, but we didn't really have time, and people wanted to play something else. But it really is a good game, which is why I got it and why I'm doing kind of a video review on it. If I was going to give it a score out of 10, this would be probably a solid 7 3/4. 7 3/4 game. I can imagine where it can get overly overpowered, one-sided. But it is really fun. It is a little bit of more adult game. I probably should preface that at the beginning of the video. But yeah, it is a really fun game. And if you would like to play, you know where I am. You can give me a call, and I'm more than willing to play any game I review on here at any given time. Beyond that, let me give you an idea of some of the treasure cards here. And I just picked one up at random. This treasure is called the Big Book of Awesome. And your power rolls are at +2. And certain spell cards actually give you access to treasure cards. So there's that. Let's see. This is another treasure card called the Cheater's Handbook. When you make a power roll, you may re-roll 1 die. And some of these are permanent, and some of these are not so permanent. Let's give you an idea of the Dead Wizard card. Which you hand in the Dead Wizard card at the end of each round when you come back to life and respawn. So this one says deal 2 damage to the foe of your choice. And let's see, this one says after you draw in your starting hand next game, draw 2 additional cards. So the Dead Wizard cards are supposed to be able to make someone who died early in the last round able to kind of catch back up. So it is kind of balanced that way, but still, if you get the right cards, you can probably nuke everybody pretty quickly. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing something. Let me take a look at the rule book to see if I am missing something as far as that. Let's see. Start each round. Each wizard draws up to the main draws from the main deck until he has a full hand of 8 cards. Create your spell. Figure out initiative. Resolve your spells. Source, then quality, then delivery. Let's see. Oh, there are also wild magic cards. There's 8 of those in the deck, and the wild magic card, if you play it with your spell as part of your spell, no matter what part of the spell it is, if you get, well, all right, let's say you play wild magic as your source, you get to draw from the top of the main deck until you reveal a source, and then that is your source card for the wild magic. If you did it as a delivery, the same thing. If you did it as a quality, same thing. If you did it as a delivery, though, and we went through this when we played it the first time, your initiative will change based on whatever delivery you choose, if you choose to use wild magic as your delivery in your initial spell. But other than that, it is a pretty simple game. Slight learning curve. I mean, I got it after a couple of turns. But yeah, it is really, really neat, really, really fun. I'm surprised I actually haven't heard of it before. But like I said, solid 7 3/4 out of 10. I really, really liked it. I fell in love with it pretty much instantaneously, which is why I just had to have it. And I found a really good deal on it from Card House. It's cardhaus.com. I don't know how long that deal is going to be lasting. I ordered it earlier this week and got it yesterday. So if you're interested in owning this game, that's a really good game to play. Beyond that, I do want to go ahead and announce that the next episode of Late to the Game will be Steve Jackson Games' Illuminati card game. Now, not the collectible card game that came out prior to Steve Jackson getting the license for Illuminati, but we will be doing Illuminati on the next episode, which I'll probably film it sometime this week and upload it over next weekend. But beyond that, again, this is a 19-minute video now, almost 20 in about 10 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go at that. and see you at the games table.